The canal runs parallel in this bit with the motorway, with the road, with the railway, so you're always sort of aware of the sound of other transport routes, and you still feel like you're in a fairly peaceful bit compared to the hustle and bustle of what's on the other side of, you know, on the road. People are dashing everywhere else, but we're just strolling along the canal. Oh, and that's Hart's Tongue, that one. Yeah, you get it on like walls like this. Yeah. It's really rather beautiful.
There's a sereneness, it's quite open spaces. Sort of the farmland here makes a big difference as well on the one side. It's very quiet.
I think what's interesting about canals is, of course, they would never have been like this. They would have always been absolutely packed with trade and boats and people. So like the coke kilns, I mean, that would have been a dynamic, hot, busy, smoky place. But of course now there are these lovely little caves overgrown with wildflowers. Look at these, aren't they brilliant?
I've not seen these before.
So when I came like the first time, all of this is completely grown up. So you kind of, I don't know, they're more hidden.
I've heard about the coke kilns, but never seen them. So different to what I sort of maybe had pictured in my mind. Sort of really taken over by nature, some beautiful plants in there. But the history there, you can sort of really feel it and really able to connect with that. And the difference in the brick as well, that was really interesting, where obviously there's sort of the very high temperatures.
And how things have taken over it, like the grass and the moss. There's a bit of clover, ragwort, plantain. Oh, there's celandines up here, the little yellow one.
Yeah.
That's very early spring flower. Wow, they're fabulous, aren't they, as sort of sculptural objects.
Whereas this was sort of a very industrial path across the canal, this sort of very modern, busy road. So that was a really nice contrast, really.
Oh, there's the catkins. That's an older, that's the older catkins. Apparently the wood is good for clogs.
Oh.
Like for the base of your clogs.
So quite hard wearing.
Yeah. There's a few daisies on here. Look, and there's some here as well. I think when it goes dull they close up.
Yeah.
So like poor man's weather vane. Oh, look at this, you see. This is a nice rose, this. Oh yeah. This is going to be a nice rose of some kind, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, walls are like fabulous habitats, I suppose. And look at that great big thistle coming. That's beautiful, isn't it? I love the variety in, like, just in the greens alone of leaves, let alone like the textures.
And then you've got the halfway point of the canal, which I never knew was here. And I've spent so much time along the canal sort of in Burnley, but like the 63 and 5/8 of a mile, that like stuck in my mind forever now, I think. Really interesting.
So the church is up there, look, and it's all like boarded up. I think the church is really interesting because of its architecture. It's really nice to walk up to it, round it, through the grounds and back down to the canal. There's records of there being something on the site from like, the 600s. The tower and the font were built in the 15th century, so incredibly old connection to the site. Really like this part of the canal because it's a lot quieter than the other ones, but you're still close to the town. Feels like one side of church is built up on the canal, but the other side is completely rural, like out over the fields, which is nice. And we've seen all sorts: robin, blackbird, seen the Shetland ponies and the donkeys.
It's a little bit of green, it's a little bit of a sanctuary, a bit of calm. I think it's just so nice to kind of just be able to come back and connect to nature, and I love it. I just love it.